Hello and welcome to our Retire Early lifestyle. Thanks for being here today. We're going to jump right into this information for you today. We're going to talk about the 3 unexpected or unforeseen things that will happen to you when you move abroad. They may even change your whole perception about living abroad. And well, it's almost guaranteed you will come back home after experiencing the Shameless promotion. You will realize that all the hype, all the noise, all the cheerleaders, and all the glitzy and glamorous things about the particular country you're in is not making you feel better or making your life better like the cheerleaders led you to believe. What moving abroad does is it stimulates your senses to its many cultural differences, events, and activities, and those differences are an enjoyable aspect of being abroad. Taking a vacation is fun, isn't it? I mean, who doesn't like to see the indigenous of Ecuador dressed up in their colorful skirts and watching how they carry their bambinos in a homemade hammock they carry on their backs? Who doesn't love visiting the historical museums with all the special artifacts, each with an entertaining story behind them? And of course, who doesn't enjoy eating real Mexican food in a real Mexican restaurant and listening to a real Mexican band? Wow, I'm on vacation forever! These things give us escape into the world of other cultures. Most people are either moving from something, leaving stress behind, fast-paced, complicated lifestyles, too many commitments, negative situations, or they're moving towards something, more relaxation, more excitement, more variety, more pleasure, more positive experiences. Most people will get some of both of those things. However, when all is said and done and people have had their fill, most people will come to the realization after the vacation is over that they are still the person they were when they started the journey. And they have the same needs and wants we all do. Familiar territory, family and friend relationships, ease of communication with people from the same country you're from, non-foreigner discrimination, etc., etc. All the fun of when you first moved abroad is gone. Now it's just you and them. And when it comes down to you and them, you will begin to see yourself in a different light in that country. You will start to feel different about your surroundings. Instead of looking outside of yourself and enjoying all the different cultural aspects of the particular country you're in, you begin to look back inside of yourself and feel that nagging ache that something does not feel right. And at that time, you will see yourself as an outsider because you will feel it. This phenomenon happens to almost everyone who moves abroad. It's the stark difference between being on a vacation versus living somewhere permanently. It will catch up to you at some point in your journey abroad. Most people are ready to go home after just a vacation somewhere. So being in a foreign locale for the long term, however, is a whole other animal. That's all we're saying. Depending on who you are and your circumstances, this deep feeling, wondering what your life is all about, far, far away from your previous life you left, will happen between 1 and 5 years of being abroad. Be ready for it. It will happen, and at some point you will most likely move back home. Number 2 on our list. You will lose your curiosity once you move abroad and experience it. This is why we always say most people will need to move abroad for themselves just to experience it, to get it over with, so to speak. Will your experience be like the tout's tout? No, because you're getting the candy-coated message of how much better it is to live abroad, and your wanderlust caves into that spiel. Rarely will you hear about how it really is to live abroad, but you already know that. You already know you will always get the superficial aspects about how cheap and wonderful it all is, because, well, People are more apt to want to listen to how their glass is going to be full instead of half empty. Don't you agree? Positivity, also known as hype in this case, sells better. Hey, look here, listen to me. You can leave your cares behind and move to this wonderful place where the sun always shines. The people are super friendly and the living is cheap. Now, doesn't that sound inviting? Sure it does, and it sells. We've always wondered, why do people have to lure others into moving abroad for? What's the game? What's in it for them? And why does everyone's life look like they're having the greatest time of their life? Well, we'll tell you why on this channel, like we've always been forthwith on this channel. It's because you only get 15 minutes of their 24-hour day, and it's a scripted and often rehearsed video. They are creating a commercial for you that does not show the whole picture, nor does it tell the whole picture. Much of what really matters when you live abroad is never told. That is the stuff you will experience for yourself. We have yet to see anyone talk about the things that really matter to people, such as the true health effects of moving to a new and different region of the world where things are not like they were back home. We have yet to see anyone really talk about the effects of being a foreigner in a foreign land who looks different and stands out and is perceived as being a rich person, even though they're not, in the middle of a bunch of people that see themselves as much lower than you in financial status, whether it's true or not. When people say in a video, "we feel safe," or how about this one, "the crime is in the USA, it's not here," are these statements going to make you stay safe and secure while you're living abroad? People regret listening to only one source and one side of the story later on, after they've experienced the truth for themselves. But why wait? Why make big financial commitments such as buying property and moving lock, stock, and barrel based on such meager informational sources? That's why we make the crime videos from time to time, to show people the types of crimes and who it is happening to. If cultures of other countries have the misguided impression that all Americans are rich, then God forbid, what else have they been told that would make foreigners targets in their country? After all, they can't get on a plane and fly to other countries like you can. You must be loaded. You can wear holey jeans and a dirty t-shirt with flip-flops and you're still rich in a foreign country, especially in a developing country, okay? Women alone in a foreign country is something for the eyes to see, and the bad apples see that as an easy target, and she is. This is why you hear of numerous violent crimes abroad are of solo female travelers. Sorry to say, and it's unfortunate, but it's a reality. Okay, so enough with that. After about 6 months abroad or so, you will say to yourself, okay, I've experienced living abroad and I'm no longer curious about life in a foreign country. You, like most everyone else, will probably never publicize your feelings and will keep any negatives to yourself because it's a trend to do so. That's why so many people keep falling for the enticement of moving abroad, because their life is going to be so much better if only they move to this or that country they are touting or calling the best thing since heaven for that month or year. Italy, Portugal, Colombia, and Spain, and a few Asian countries come to mind right now. With all that said, moving abroad for a year or 2 or 5 years is not necessarily a bad thing. It opens your horizons to what was once a curiosity, has now been discovered and experienced. You got it out of your system, so to speak, and now you know. You're all the better for it because you've grown in the process. You have experienced something many others haven't, and you can now share your experience with others. So leave a comment on your move abroad experience and be a great service to others by sharing the pros and the cons and not necessarily the superficial ones. Moving on to number 3 on our list, morphs into the first two, or the first two morph into this last one we're going to talk about, and here it is. At some point in your journey, most Americans will have a newfound appreciation for their home country. We've told you the statistics before. It's somewhere between 85 and 95% of people after 2 to 5 years move back home. Even though in your mind you moved abroad thinking it was forever and you're never moving back to the USA again, but you will. Why does this happen? Well, back up to number 1 and 2 on this list and there will be your answer. That's why we saved this one for last. The appreciation for your homeland is mainly realizing that the grass being displayed and shown to you as being greener is really a mirage. Until you experience that mirage for yourself, you won't even know it. Your hopes and dreams of moving somewhere to have a better life sound so good though. Expats are like a group of thirsty, dehydrated people walking relentlessly in a desert. They keep seeing this large pool of fresh water ahead and they push on to get to that water. But once they get there, where the water pool was supposed to be, they realize it's just a mirage. It's not real. So, well, in the same way, people who are seeking to improve their lives in some way, shape, or form, perhaps financially, emotionally, or socially, or maybe politically, thirst for a new way to live that will provide the support, or let's say, provide the dream life they've always wanted. That's where the touts come in. They can easily entice people that are looking for that dream life abroad. They're seeking something for their life that they aren't getting now. They seek for maybe a money improvement, safety improvement, relationship improvement, whatever it is they seek, that dream that everyone is talking about in videos. In a peanut shell, they moved abroad, they experienced it, and now, like most people that did something as far-fetched as moving across continents to improve their life or chase a dream, moved back to their home country, mainly for the love of the life they had. It's human nature to take what we have for granted, and that's what we do when we think another country is where we're supposed to be. But the truth is, you cannot replace familiarity and knowledge, foods and culture, environment and surroundings, family, friends and relationships in a foreign country. And that's what people do not realize until they have experienced a foreign country or 2 or 3. Sooner or later, they will begin to have that yearning and appreciation for the life they left behind. End of story. So the moral of this story is, all the people making videos about how they had culture shock after living abroad and coming back to the USA is just copy and paste. There is no culture shock if they were born and raised here and spent 2 to 5 years abroad, even 10 years. It's media hype for the senses to get you to click. The only shock they probably will have is how much they actually appreciate being back in their country and wondering why they were duped into leaving it in the first place. It's all about vacations. Not saying we'll never go abroad again, but it's now about vacations. Okay, everyone, that's it for now. Thanks for watching and be blessed. Take care.